Well, hello there, people. Well, taking a cue from one of my YouTube buddies, one of my online friends here, Psycho Snorlax. If you want to visit his channel, he's down there in the corner of my channel page on my recommended channels. He mostly does Minecraft stuff, video blogs, and Call of Duty stuff. If you want to check out his channel. But he was doing a little series called Get to Know, and so I'm going to brutally rip it off with mine, except mine is not going to be like 7 parts long or anything like that. There's not too much about me to know. Like, while I'm talking here, I'm going to have a battlefield match here running in the background that I recorded recently. I do okay in it. Of course, it's not going to be just one match. It's going to be like snippets of stuff I've done in the last day. But well, where do I even start at? Obviously, most of my life I've been gaming for God knows how long. Actually, I started gaming like when you first pick up the concept that pressing this button does this, which was about around 5 years old when I started gaming. So I've been gaming for 26 years, actually. Well, going on 27 years here soon. That's a very long time, and I feel really, really old now. But yeah, I'm trying to really remember my first game. I believe it was Battle Tank on the Atari 2600. It was, you just have these two little tanks. It's like 3 colors. Two little tanks that you drive around, and you just shoot at each other. It was 2 player, and all you do is kill each other with it. And that was pretty much the whole game. It was just like a little basic little maze, kind of like Pac-Man. But yeah, I believe that was my first game. Uh, but I picked up my first console with the Nintendo Entertainment System, and my first game, like everybody's first game for Nintendo, was Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. I think I actually put more time into Duck Hunt than anything. But yeah, I had the Super Set, which came with light gun, which was like, to me, it was like fucking magical. I'm like, how in the fucking hell does this thing work? I remember I always used to cheat. Me and my brother would play. We'd sit like right on top of the damn TV and shoot at it. We also, I really, really hated that fucking dog, like everybody. But uh, another, we used to live behind a trucking company down there, and my first Super Nintendo went, no, not Super Nintendo, but my first Nintendo died out pretty quick because of all the dust, because there was a quarry like really close by, and dust was just freaking unbelievable, especially during the summer when we didn't have any air conditioning. We had to leave the windows open. The dust was just flipping horrible. So it killed that thing pretty fast. There's very, very few times in my life where I haven't had a console and haven't been gaming. Uh, once I remember my dad broke my Super Nintendo, and uh, I've actually had like 3 or 4 Super Nintendos since then. So I remember my first game for Super Nintendo. That was obviously Super Mario World or whatever. I still play that game occasionally today. Of course, it's a ROM, but shh, don't tell anybody. I haven't rebought it for. I got a console thing that has the Super Nintendo, Genesis, and NES, where you can play all those games on it. Of course, it kind of sucks because it doesn't have like an HD thing out. I haven't been able to find one that has an HD out on it. unfortunately, so it has to hook up with an S video controller. But beyond Super Nintendo, uh, what else? I had a Sega at one point. I don't remember how I got that. I think I actually got it off a friend. But we used to play Golden Axe all the time. Played Mortal Kombat. I remember the first time Mortal Kombat, we got it in me and my friend Charlie at the time were sitting in front of this big screen because he had an old projection, big screen, 52-inch, and we sitting there playing it, and we was all filling around, and whenever he went to say finish me, we'd go play the. We just start randomly hitting buttons because we didn't know any of the finishers, and this was before, really before the internet took off, and this was back when AOL was like AOL 3.0 or something like that. It was really early on, and dial-up was $20 a freaking month, and so we just filling around with it, and lo and behold, Charlie does his first finisher on there, and we all just go ape shit, and we're like, oh my god, all screaming and jumping around. Uh, what else? Another favorite game we used to always play was Road Rash. I really, really miss that franchise. We really need another Road Rash game. Nothing like hitting someone with nunchucks while you're driving past them on your Kawasaki. But from Sega, actually, I think no, no, I can't remember. We actually had a Nintendo 64 after that, and we had a PlayStation. We actually got the PlayStation before the Nintendo 64, and we always used to get these PlayStation Underground magazines, and they always come with these fucking demos. I remember playing demos more than I actually did actual games. One of the first crazy ass games I ever played on it was Twisted Metal, another favorite franchise of mine. I'm really, really fucking pissed I still can't play it for PlayStation 3 because of the crashing problem. Mine still crashes. They've never fixed it on the older PlayStations because I got the backwards compatible one. And yeah, after that, what other? Oh yeah, my first time playing Final Fantasy 7. Yeah, that was when it shortly came out. It was like one of the actually Final Fantasy 7 was like one of the first games that I can remember uh, seeing advertisement on television for. I mean, it was that big back then. It was like one of the first games I ever seen advertised. That and oh no, wait, there was Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat had these commercials. I remember one of them being where a bunch of like hundreds of kids were walking down the street and they're all, Mortal Kombat, all that crap. What else? But yeah, I'm obviously me going over all this stuff. Most of my life I've spent gaming, all of it actually. I mean, uh, I collect video games. I have thousands of them. So yeah, I'm not going to run out of content for my channel anytime soon. I can actually play a game a day, a different game a day for 30 years, and never run out of games. I know as crazy as that sounds, it sounds like I'm a fucking hoarder, but yeah. Yeah, to spend way too much money on video games, not enough money on anything else. And yeah, I spent way too much money on video games. Way too much money. I'd probably have like uh God, probably over. And I don't even want to estimate because some games I have that are actually worth money because they're rare. Like I got like a black label Final Fantasy 7 I have a Black Label Shiokaden, Black Label Shiokaden 2, uh, Homebound. What was that game? Homeward Bound, or whatever. I forget the name of it. It's an SNES game. I got a bunch of SNES games still. Uh, but yeah, needless to say, my life's been nothing but gaming. I am an only child, but that's because my sister died before I was born of sudden infant death syndrome. My brother died 10 years ago in a car accident, unfortunately. We used to be like really close when we was younger, but as we grew up, he started going off and doing the whole party thing, and I was more of a stay at home and play video games person. Needless to say, he was more popular than I was, but I didn't give a fuck. I was the in-betweener in high school. Uh, like, I guess tweener, or whatever the fuck they call it. I don't know what they call it now, but I was the person who was friends with everybody, not just like one class, because you know how classes in fucking high school, pointless cliques, like we got the Wiggers, we got the uh, preps, we got the jocks, we got the dorks, got the hicks, got the freaks. we could, I think the most hated uh, class of people in our high school was the Wiggers, because I was living a very, I guess, southern kind of school. Hicks were the most abundant in preps, so I was kind of friends with all of them. After that, I never graduated, so I ended up dropping out at 11th grade. And eventually, like this year, I actually got my GED back in March, which I should have went a lot earlier because it was hellaciously easy. It was like stupidly easy. I don't know why I didn't go get it sooner. But yeah, right now I work at a cleaning company, just doing a casual time job, making about $100 a week, which is enough to feed my addiction, I guess. Oh yeah, what else? I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I don't drink. I actually, right now, I unfortunately live with my parents because, funny story, I was living on my own, up in my own house that I owned, but I'd lost my job. Well, I quit my job because my manager actually tried to get me fired because he couldn't fire me. He couldn't fire me because I was doing the minimal amount of work. So he actually had one of his friends try to start a fight with me so he could fire me, and he couldn't fire me because this is a union job, and if you're doing a minimal amount of work, he can't fire you legally. Then you can file a grievance against him and get him fired. So he couldn't fire me, so he tried to have someone start a fight with me so he could have a reason to fire me. Needless to say, I walked away from the fight, and I ended up quitting anyway because I just fucking hated the job. But yeah, right now they're actually hiring. The job was at Meyer. It's a big popular store here in Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and I think Tennessee. I think they got a few. I think they're based out of Michigan. But what else? My life's pretty dull overall. I wake up. I play guitar now. Rocksmith. I upload Rocksmith videos kind of regularly. Once I master anyway, I kind of stopped doing the whole progress thing because it was just like way too much fucking work to record all those arrangements. So I kind of stopped doing that. I may start doing the practice session things again. I don't know, but maybe down the road or something I'll start doing it. But my guitar is Epiphone Les Paul custom with a It's chrome. It's chrome hardware with ebony paint and ivory trim, and Bigsby Barbetto bar. I put new knobs on it to match the paint scheme and the chrome. It's chrome knobs, black paint, top hat. Pretty nice guitar. Plus it has, cobalt strings, 42 nines. It's my baby, kinda. uh, I just recently also got a new TV, a 55-inch Vizio. I'm liking them a lot. But what else is there to say? Yeah, but I live with my parents because I quit my job. Then I eventually moved back down with my parents, and now in this like not even a couple weeks after I moved back down with my parents, I got a call about a job to go work at this company, and lo and behold, I got the job, and I've been down here ever since. So I've been kind of saving up money to rebuild my computer, and been buying video games up left and right. I probably should really get looking to buying myself a car. But I wouldn't be able to afford the fucking insurance and the gas anyway, so it'd be kind of fucking pointless to have one and not be able to drive it, so fuck it. But yeah, you walk into my room, it looks like electronics store with a very video game heavy atmosphere. I really, really, really wish I had moved back up the freaking other house. I have way more room, and being completely alone. I'm a hermit, by the way, so everybody knows that. I'm kind of dating someone right now. Kinda. It's in the complicated section of Facebook. It's complicated. So yeah, it's pretty complicated with her. What else? Oh yeah, back to gaming. That's the gaming is the story of my life. But yeah, after I got PlayStation, one of my first games I played on it was Resident Evil. That's kind of what made me a fan of Resident Evil for life. But I don't really mind the direction that they're going with Resident Evil. I don't know why people complain so fucking much. First, I complain about Resident Evil because it's tank controls and it's all these puzzles and all that bullshit. And all of a sudden, they're complaining because it's getting action oriented. Now, whatever. I already went over that shit in my Resident Evil 6 video, but yeah, I've been recently focusing on Resident Evil. So it's October. October is actually my favorite time of the month. Well, autumn is my favorite season because I live out in the country and live out in the middle of nowhere, and you got all these trees around you, all this nature, and got all these leaves changing color, and you can smell the crisp northern wind coming down. And it's just really, really awesome out here during the autumn. I really, really fucking hate what comes after autumn. I fucking hate winter. Especially since I live on a lake, there's a lake in my front yard, so when that freezes over, it's basically like living in a fucking ice box. It's like 10 degrees colder around that lake than anywhere else. And so it fucking sucks living in the country during the winter, especially next to a fucking lake. But yeah, back to gaming yet again. The next thing I got was the PlayStation 2. Again, Twisted Metal Black, awesome game. And actually my two first PlayStation games were, oh god, I know Final Fantasy X was my first PlayStation 2 game. I believe it was Final Fantasy X and Twisted Metal Black were my first PlayStation 2 games. I bought it I started working at the IRS. I worked there for a month as a temp job and working the mailroom and sorting. And I bought that PlayStation 2. I also bought two speakers for my stereo. I put it on. I had a $500 credit card and I had it maxed out in 2 minutes. Needless to say, I don't get credit cards anymore. I do have one, but that's just to pay with for DLC and stuff like that. That's the only thing I use it for. And yeah, PlayStation 2 was, in my opinion, the best console ever. PlayStation 3 could use some work. I miss having hundreds of JRPGs to choose from. There's not too many JRPGs anymore, unfortunately. I don't really like the direction Final Fantasy's going. But I never actually had an Xbox. I never played Halo. Never played Halo 2. I mean, I played Halo for PC. My first PC was actually a Celeron 225 with 64 MB of RAM, Windows 95, and shit, a 5 gig hard drive with a 28K modem. 28K modem. I remember the dial-up sound like it was just yesterday. Me and my brother always used to fight over the freaking phone. Anyway, my first PC games were Might and Magic 6, Duke Nukem 3D, and Command and Conquer Red Alert. Those were the days. I used to sit and play Might and Magic 6 for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I don't know how I never beat it, but eventually I did beat it a couple months ago. But eventually I got rid of that damn computer and half built my own. What else? Yeah, my first online competitive game that I ever played was I actually played Red Alert online a few times, but I didn't play it competitively. I played it on Heat.net with some random people playing against the CPU on hard. I never really liked playing RTS games against people online because I always got my ass kicked. Because people have these RTS games down to a fucking science, where they instinctively know what to click, just like, FPS person, doesn't think about it when they're shooting somebody. But yeah, they're so good with it. They have everything planned out beforehand, and they can just do it like miles faster than I can. That's how the Korean players are so fucking good at StarCraft. And Japanese players are so fucking good at Resident Evil 5 Mercenaries and stuff like that. I mean, they constantly top the leaderboards. But yeah, my first competitive game was probably Unreal, the original Unreal. That was the first one. I played it over Heat.net, which was run by Sega. What else? My first console competitive game I ever played was Red Faction Guerrilla. That's the game that kind of broke me into playing games competitively, was Red Faction Guerrilla. So that game was just so much fucking fun, and I miss it so much. It's completely dead now. You can still go on there and try to look for a match, but you're not gonna find a single fucking person playing. I'm actually still on the leaderboard in the top 100 players, amazingly. I was actually at one time in the top 30 players in the world on the PS3. That's actually where I met some of my friends at. Lord Slick, Game Fanatic. Yeah, Game Fanatic was number one on the leaderboard. We always used to group up and completely and utterly destroy anybody we came across. Met Millfinch on there. I still got all these people on my friends list. Uh, but yeah, me and Slick went on to play Black Ops a lot. Uh, then after Red Faction died out, moved on to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I never played Modern Warfare online, just Modern Warfare 2. Then went on to play Black Ops together with me and Slick, and we never made the move to Modern Warfare 3. So then Battlefield 3 came out, and I've been playing Battlefield 3 a lot, which seen in the background here. But uh, other than that, that's pretty much my game history. I mean, I play everything, anything you could think of. I've probably played it. Other than indie games, I'm not a big fan of indie games because I don't really like. I know there's some really good indie games out there, but I've never really played that many indie games at all. I'm usually just some kind of mainstream gamer who buys all the big stuff. I don't really play the indie games, even though I did play Torchlight, because I was kind of jonesing for a good dungeon crawler, and Torchlight's pretty good. Uh, I haven't played Torchlight 2 yet. I might get that. But anyway, I think I've rambled on long enough. So anyways, thanks for listening. If you actually listened to this all the way through, thanks again.